train ride from Logan Square to Jefferson Park.
Alright, that's going to be 08366. 08366. I'm sorry, stand by real quick on City Y1.
7388.
Stand by real quick on City Y1. Stand by unless you have an emergency. Okay, 7388 Adam.
Can I get a trip?
Okay, you guys are talking over each other. 88 Adam, go first.
388 Adam. Can I get a blue line trip? Wonderful. Empty stop, please.
Alright, yours is 08379. 08379. Next unit.
83 Adam.
83 Adam. 95th is 08.
You're just leaving here, right? Right, just leaving.
80.
Number 4, red line, please.
08384. 08384.
It's the dive unit, right?
86 Adam.
86 Adam, go ahead,
They're just leaving now.
Alright, that's going to be 08407. 08407.
73 86.
We're doing a rewind of what
Get a
happened.
number to the lake. Blue line. Forward.
Alright, it's 08425. 08425. Bring in headquarters. Bring in headquarters. Squad, this female jumped into the water in Monroe Gas. Can you call fire 687 boat, see if they can get their boat for us? Okay, that's fine. Unit 10 on the citywide. I'm sorry, the unit I was talking to over the simulcast. A female unit trying to come. 83 boy. 83 boy, go ahead. Can I get a 793 red line, please? That's going to be 08454. 08454. Marina headquarters. Marina headquarters.
750, go ahead.
Where exactly, this fire taxi, where exactly is she at?
She's lakeside. She is at the mouth of the harbor in Monroe Harbor. The entrance to, if you're on a boat, she's at the entrance to Monroe Harbor.
Okay, so units of Missouri Citywide robbery just terrorist, everyone 18-year-old male was found by 2 male black stole money in his phone. Fire is rolling up further on 7. Condition radio clear.
386
86 boy.
Can we please have that number? Blue line Jackson.
Alright, Jackson is 08480. 08480.
10-4.
Marina headquarters. Marina headquarters. Squad, 2 of our divers had to jump in to grab her. And we have an ambulance to 250 North Breakwater access here. Alright, I'll get fire rolling.
Eddie.
83 Eddie?
Yeah, show me ID box number 7947 from
I don't have an agenda, my brother. I go with the calls.
Alright, that's going to be 08512. 08512.
787 David. 387 David, correct. Give that number. 87 David, you said you needed to repeat. Give that number. Which one? 08366. 08366. 7386 David. 786. Number for Chicago, red. 08528. Temple.
Headquarters on Citywide 1.
Marina headquarters.
Squad, can we please get 2 ambulances to 250 North Breakwater access, which is our headquarters? And can we also have a V car roll this way to go through?
Yeah, 10-4, we'll get him rolling.
Maniac driver, maniac. It's a maniac. Look at him, maniac. He's gonna kill people.
Alright.
Don't care about nobody.
196
Maniac.
278. 196 278. And the event number is 08170. 08170.
A little rusty after a while.
Alright, Marine headquarters, you have 111 en route for your beat car. And then you have ambulance 42 and ambulance 4, both en route.
Well, thank you. We do have a shoreline boat helping us. The tour boat as well too. She's in the water there.
Okay, and for
7388 boy.
788, boy.
That number Blue Line Western eastbound car 3242.
Alright, that is 08579.
Support date. 83 Adam.
783, Adam.
Fire for 96.
Yep, that is 08581.
Marine headquarters.
Marine headquarters.
Squad female is with us on land. We do still need those ambulances, and one of our drivers is on a tour boat.
Alright, 10-4.
Sam,
786, Adam.
look for the remote, right?
Yep, that is 08601.
Seven 737.
787.
What's there from this?
Squad. LCI is going southbound from 600 South Avenue. It has carjacking vehicle 2012 Nissan Sentra black in color with a VIN number of Frank John 88361.
Alright, southbound 600 South Cicero, carjacked black Nissan Sentra Frank John 88361, if anyone is in the area.
5700. Squad, that Sentra just found on the I-290 from Kildare.
Alright, our carjacked black Nissan Sentra now just found 290 from Kildare. He found 290 from Kildare.
5700.
So you hear there's at least 3 carjacked cars today already. This is an old call. This is going back to 4:39. You're listening about an hour ago.
738.
I'm trying to catch up to the calls. There's been robberies and carjackings, at least 3 already today, in less than an hour.
47th red line, please.
Yeah, 738 David, it is 0.
We're gonna do a little touring today since it's Friday.
765.
Tourist Friday, how about that? I'll show you where there's some cool views, right?
You got it. That is
So they-
086.
They pulled a lady out of the lake over there. I'm having trouble with my radio, by the way. So
What color was the Nissan on the 290?
that's a Nissan on the west side was carjacked. Then there was another one on the south side. And there was a third one.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to get to all the ones.
Sentra has a sunroof and the passenger side mirror. It looks like it's broken.
Alright, it does have a sunroof, and the passenger side mirror is broken.
What's the plate for?
Plate on it is Frank John 88361. Frank John 88361.
In the old days, this was Lakeshore Drive, by the way. This was Lakeshore Drive in the old days. They rerouted. See, I'm having trouble with my radio. I gotta get a new radio. I think I need a new faceplate. I was doing flood coverage, and I had my window open by the Technical Institute there on Western, 28th and Western, by the dog shelter. And I had my window open. A car passed by and put all the water into my car, flooded out my radio. So it's got electronic problems with it now. But the Lakeshore Drive used to be on this side. This is the Gold Star Memorial here. Everybody knows this. Soldier Field, by the way. Lakeshore Drive used to be on this side of Soldier Field at one time. I haven't put up. There's a new design for the stadium. I need to look it up. And it says it's all safe, self-sustainable. And as they build it, it costs less money. I got to put it up. Some architects came up with it. It's a really good design. I like it. And if Brandon wanted to be a hero, he would accept this design and work with it. And it's right here. It doesn't wreck anything, and it keeps the lakefront the way it is, and it incorporates what it has here. It builds on the train tracks above the southbound rail that goes down to Indiana, the electric train tracks. Here's another carjack car, and let's put this one on. Listen up.
787.
Finding the Harlem Blue Line, part number 7159. Over here.
Check, that is
We might put on the news and see if they got the what happened with the lady, right?
08.
I thought they had two people, but I guess not. I was worried there. What's up, Trina? I'm doing a little touring.
8647 going westbound from 7387.
It's another carjack car. Here, listen.
78 Frank.
Okay, so it's on bus 8647 going westbound from Philadelphia and Roosevelt.
Check, that is 08809.
Thank you.
All right, got a call for theft in progress. Theft in progress. The 95th red light. She says the bus said someone is yelling, or she is yelling at someone, "Give my belongings back." That's all I have. 7383. 7383 Adam. 733 Adam at the 95th red light. 733 Adam.
We're going to see if I can get to the radio and listen to the radio, the News 530 News.
Alright, you guys contact for 733 Adam? They're not answering the radio for Joe.
No, I can't. I might do it this way. I got another way to listen to the radio. Let's see how I do this here.
Channel mode. Frequency mode. President Trump signs an executive order funding the TSA as House Republicans reject a Senate-passed bill that would have funded most of Homeland Security. And Iran says it will prioritize letting humanitarian aid through the Strait of Hormuz amid Israeli strikes on Lebanon.
This is Glenn Marshall. A Southwest Suburban hospital is facing a federal discrimination lawsuit over its COVID-19 vaccine.
Sports, Bills face the Thunder in Oklahoma City, Hawks in New York to skate with the Rangers. Jumping into the business, Sound Arrow.
Yep, that is 09306.
What's up, Nicole? This used to be Meg's Field here. Airplanes used to be on this place.
Anna Schnechter is the senior coordinating producer for the CBS News Crime and Public Safety Unit. Remember, it was just a few years ago that he was involved in a serious car accident in the Los Angeles area, and he had been taking medication that affected him and caused that crash. He was seriously injured and really, through a ton of hard work, came back and even returned to exercising and playing golf, which is miraculous given the the injuries that he sustained to his leg. Woods' car went over an embankment after it clipped a truck. The Martin County Sheriff says that Woods was not hurt, but showed signs of impairment at the scene. While he passed an alcohol breathalyzer test, he did refuse to give a sample for a urine test. President Trump has signed an executive order to pay TSA agents while the Department of...
Innocent 19 city was coming in as a bank told us about now. Byline Bank 3639 West Broadway. Going to radio play.
Don't know if anybody's ever been to this part of the city here. It's nice. I've been coming here since I've been a kid.
An approach that could create some legal challenges. The Senate had passed a bill to fund all of the Department of Homeland Security except ICE and Border Patrol, but the House did not agree. The impasse, led by Democratic demands to change the way ICE agents operate, followed the ICE-related shooting deaths of 2 Americans in Minneapolis. Lindy Kenyon, CBS News, the White House. World, Iran says it will facilitate and expedite humanitarian aid through the Strait of Hormuz. It comes as heavy fighting between Israel and Hezbollah continued another day.
73864.
I'm trying to get to the news. I got it on my ham radio.
Red line check. Yep, that is 09323.
All right, there we go. We're going to get to the news right now. I hope. I want to hear what they have about this lady that fell in the wall while she
Man
jumped.
was killed as Hezbollah fired over 100 rockets at Israel, and a soldier was killed in fighting. The Israel...
Israel, which threatened to escalate its campaign against Iran, claimed responsibility, and Iran quickly threatened to retaliate. And the defense secretary facing more questions this week.
In what's considered a highly unusual move, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is blocking the promotion of 4 Army officers to become 1-star generals. 2 of them are black and 2 are women. Some senior military officials are questioning whether the officers are being singled out because of their race or gender. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
534, closer to home now, a Southwest Suburban Hospital being sued by the EEOC over a COVID-19 vaccine mandate.
A certified surgical technologist says they requested a religious accommodation from the Silver Cross Hospital in New Lenox back in August of 2021 because of their COVID-19 vaccine mandate, but was denied. 2 months later, that tech was fired. The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission claims the hospital violated federal law when it failed to provide a reasonable accommodation to the employee because of her Christian beliefs. The EEOC says the situation violates the Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which bars discrimination because of religion as well as retaliation for complaining about it. We reached out to Silver Cross Hospital for comment, and they declined. Glenn Marshall, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A new plan in Springfield would change how the state handles repeat speeding offenders.
Judges in Illinois can order people with DUI offenses to install breathalyzers in their cars that keep the vehicles from starting if they've had too much to drink. Now a proposal from Elmhurst State House Democrat Marty Deuter would handle chronic leadfoots in much the same way. Her plan targets drivers who have racked up 2 or more tickets for excessive speeding, basically 30 or more over the speed limit. Instead of pulling their licenses, those drivers would be required to have devices put in their cars that automatically restrict them to the posted speed limit, wherever they are. They're called intelligent speed assist devices. They've been used by fleets for years. Here's part of a video from one of the makers.
This innovative in-cab smart technology detects the local speed limit and manages vehicle speed in real time 24/7.
Deuter says it's more proactive and will keep people safe. Jeff Buckles.
I like that idea. That's a good idea.
WBBM.
A woman serving a life sentence for a Northwest Suburban triple murder decades ago has once again been denied parole.
Serving a term of 200 to 600 years for the murders of her 2 parents and 13-year-old brother in Elk Grove Village nearly 50 years ago when she was just 19 years old. Patricia Colombo is now 69 years old. Her accomplice, Frank DeLuca, died in prison at the age of 83 in 2023. A lawyer representing Colombo told the Illinois Prisoner Review Board this week that she had survived childhood sexual abuse, only to be groomed and abused by the older DeLuca. However, court records show that it was Colombo who had sought DeLuca's help in the killings after first seeking help from others. Each of her 3 family members were shot in the head, their throats also slit. Her younger brother was stabbed 87 times with a pair of scissors. Brandon Eisen, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Puccini's Madama Butterfly returns to Lyric Opera of Chicago, March 14th.
That's some wild stuff, man. Stabbing, scissors. Man, I don't even want to know who that person is. I never want to meet a person like that. Yeah, I told you, SubX, we're doing things differently. We just seen that the lady jumped into water over there by Monroe Harbor. We thought there might be somebody else with her. We didn't see that. They just pulled ambulance number 4 for the first responders just to be there. We hope there was nobody else in that other ambulance. So we'll get the report later. But we're always, we say what we see and we check the reports later. There's multiple carjackings. We'll get back to that after the local news, all right?
And licensed professionals have resolved.
At least 3 to 4 carjackings in 1 hour that I heard. There was a robbery also. Something going on the red line. As you heard on the earlier newscast, the guys who shot Jerry Lewis, the developer at the United Center, they were on parole. They were on parole and they had switches. They should never have been out on the street, just like that migrant killer.
Now, the lowest gas prices.
So, you'll hear the news tonight, and I post up a bigger article. The guys that shot the guy on the west side, he's a big developer. He was fixing it. He's from the neighborhood, stayed in the neighborhood. He's a big shot, African-American guy, doing mentoring, helping people, building the black community. That's what he was doing. He was murdered. It sounds like it was a hit. But the guys that killed him were career criminals. One was on parole or probation for gun offenses and having a switch, yet he was out on the street. Why are these guys walking the street? If you're on parole or probation and you pick up another case, in the old days, if you were on paper, you went straight almost to the penitentiary. I don't even remember that they let you be over at the county. I don't remember that no more. I don't know. Nowadays, with the electronics, I don't know what they're doing. And I talked about this about 2 or 3 months ago. In the old days, when you were on paper, you went straight to the penitentiary. You went on that bus ride back home. That's what they did. They reinstated your time. Because you know what parole is. You get out on good behavior, and you got 1 or 2 and then your years left, and then you're out. If you violated your parole, that doesn't mean you were found guilty. You had to go right back. You went straight back. Now, if you fought your case and you won, then you can get back on parole. That's how paper used to work in the old days. I don't know how paper works anymore, but it's horrible. Here's the other thing. These guys are on electronic monitoring. While they're on electronic monitoring, you know what? It counts towards their time. There's a case that you're going to hear about today. I don't know. It was on the earlier thing. The guy got a 2 or 3 year sentence, but he's been on electronic monitoring, so he ain't doing no time. So he did a crime. He's been free. And now he's guilty, but he's not going to go to prison. That's how it works now.
To DeSable Lakeshore Drive, 40 heading back out to the veterans. Traffic is sponsored by Nicor Gas. Illinois businesses need energy they can depend on at prices that make planning possible. Nicor Gas delivers reliable natural gas that helps businesses grow, compete, and thrive. Nicor Gas, natural gas now. Your next traffic at 5:48 on News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
WBBM AccuWeather. Under a clear to partly cloudy sky tonight. It will be cold. Lows will range from 21 in the coldest western suburbs to 31 near the lake. Not as chilly tomorrow. We'll have a good deal of sunshine to start off the weekend, a high near 50, and then warmer as highs get into the 60s Sunday. 44 at O'Hare right now, 38 at Midway, 45 in Downers Grove, 35 at the lakefront, going down into the 20s in most spots later tonight. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson.
5:40. A Southside nonprofit wants to put a roof over the heads of people who are struggling through the price of life.
The Resurrection Project is a Southwest Side-based nonprofit that wants to turn some of the 40,000 vacant lots in the city into affordable housing. It's in the process of building 28 new homes in the back of the Yards neighborhood. The homes are available for purchase by people who intend to live and stay there. Fred Weatherspoon of Precious Blood of Ministry and Reconciliation says home ownership builds wealth and community.
When you own something, you are more invested in the outcome. And you know, it matters what happens.
Everybody knows this is the old Meg's Field, right? It's not called Northern Ireland. They used to have airplanes here when I was a kid. We used to watch the airplanes. We used to sit over here on Solidarity Drive and watch the planes come off here. This is all the runways here.
PM at 9:30 p.m.
Yeah, this is an airport.
News Radio 105.
Now it's like a nature center, private place.
20th anniversary special hits record high views in its first 3 days.
There's a yacht club. If you got the money and the wherewithal, you can be part of a yacht club.
Since it debuted on Tuesday.
There you go, man.
It also drove a massive surge for the
there is. Nice yacht club.
The company says viewers.
Maybe we'll make enough money one day, all of us. We'll get rich off of SubX.News. You guys are all helping me get rich. We'll figure out how to make SubX.News a global superpower of aggregate news, hyper-local news, with integrated into international affairs and social justice. That's what SubX is about. We're a hyper-local news connected to international issues that works on advocacy for the social justice of everyone involved in our society. So there's equal justice for all of us, not just for the few. Somebody work on that saying for us. And me and Marietta, we're still working on our podcast. Oh, me, you, and the news, we just haven't got to it. I just been schlubbing a little bit. So maybe we'll get to that. Me and Marietta are going to have what we've been talking about is having a podcast. Me and her in different locations in Chicago, bars or restaurants, and then invite somebody to talk on it. So it'd be me, Marietta James, and a guest every week for a half hour live. Right, Marietta? Isn't that what we talked about? So this is the park this year. This is 12th Street Beach here. See that there? They got everything locked up. See that there? There you go. It's a beautiful spot, man. When I was a kid, I hung around here. 8, 10 years old. Maybe not 8, but at least 10 years old. I used to hang around here. Meg's Field. Went fishing here, and I'll tell you another thing here on the planetarium.
Those kinds of fixtures, Jack.
The planetarium used to have a Solidarity Drive used to go around the planetarium. If you don't know about, we used to hang here as teenagers. I was here until I was in my maybe 17, 18, so 40 years ago it was still here. So around the planetarium, I'll show you guys as I go here. It's beautiful out. So yeah, SubX.News, this is different. If you guys want to help me develop SubX.News' ideas, look, I don't have no money right now. I'm broke. The money I make off of ads off of Facebook barely covers my costs. I just had to put in a front linkage on my Jeep. It was $1,400. This month I got $900 from Facebook. So that don't count my gas and my insurance and all of that stuff. But whatever, it is what it is. And now I got to fight a speeding ticket. Did I tell you this, guys? I got a speeding ticket. I was in Effingham. I got a speeding ticket. Whatever. And I forgot I pled guilty to another speeding ticket, the one I got by Kankakee. You guys seen that one when I was live. Remember that one? About a year ago. But if you get 2 speeding tickets, 3 speeding tickets, they suspend your license. That's what they're talking about on the news. So today or yesterday, I got a letter from Janulius saying I have 2 speeding tickets, 1 more, and my license gets suspended. So think about this. You got all these migrants running around with illegal licenses and these truck drivers that don't know how to speak English. They're driving around killing people. There's that one guy who killed those 2 girls out in Urbana. An illegal killed 2 girls, Abrams. Look it up. Look up that case. He's an illegal with a fake name. He got a license with a fake name. Or that truck driver, right? He killed those people from India with a fake license. These guys have fake licenses killing people. I get 2 speeding tickets, and I immediately get a notice that I'm being suspended. How do you suspend an illegal's license? Think about this. How would you suspend an illegal alien's license who's got a fake ID? You can't. Yeah, Janulius punishes me. I get it. I was speeding. I'm guilty. I'm not saying I ain't guilty. But what I did is I made a mistake. I didn't do the supervision. So I got to vacate the judgment. I got to do that this week, and I got to write up a court case. I'll show you guys how I do that. Right here. So I was talking about this. That used to be a road. It used to go all around the planetarium. There's actually an observatory in the back of this, a telescope on the lake in the back of this. Not the planetarium. It is the planetarium, but it's a separate telescope. And this used to be a road that used to go there, right there. Yeah, if you grew up in Chicago, you know about these things. This is a cool space to hang out. You sat here, you can watch the sunsets. You could watch the planes on and off. They were mostly Cessnas. That's Navy Pier in front of us. See that there? If you come here, I don't know if they let you here on the fireworks. Every Wednesday they have fireworks. This is the best spot to sit. If you can get in here, I don't know if you can get in here. But look up fireworks when they're scheduled. It's on Wednesdays, I believe, right? I think it's Wednesdays, maybe. I don't know. I don't think it's on the weekends. And then they have the fireworks. They shoot them off from right there, right over there. It's really nice here. If you want, and maybe I should get out and show you guys this other view. And this is actually the perfect view right here. I'm going to show you this. The perfect view. If you want, like, for your wife and everything, and for your, if you want like a honeymoon picture, but don't come out here today. It's cold, and they have cool statues here. The planetarium's underneath here, by the way. They have it's all built underneath here. This is all man-made here. Everything here is man-made. This is not natural. Hopefully nobody steals my damn car. I got it running. So check this out. If you want a perfect picture, that's where you stand, right there, and that way. You see where they're at? That's the perfect picture. Right there. That's a perfect picture right there. There you go. See that there? See that? Now you can come when it's sunset. You can see sunrises here. You can see all of that stuff right here. See that? That's Navy Pier over there. You're looking west, right? You're going to watch my car so nobody carjacks me, right? There you go. See that there? Soldier Field's over there, right? Beautiful out here, huh? I used to fish there. We used to do a lot of fishing here. We did smelt fishing and line fishing. You know, line fishing, power line fishing, right along here. Actually, there's a water inlet there that's between here and the harbor there. That's Burnham Harbor over there. That's where the fish are. They're right over there. They used to be years ago. Last time I fished here was 20, 30 years ago. There you go. Pretty nice here, huh? There you go. Come on out here. Take a drive. Bring a, you know what I used to do with my kids? We used to bring a picnic basket, and in summers when it was warm or whatever, and it would be nothing special happen. I'd park there. I don't remember. It was free parking or what it was. And we'd sit right there on the grass, just watch the sunset, have fun. The kids would run around there. This is a beautiful bike path. If you can bring yourself a bicycle, or they got the divvies here. The divvies, I like divvies, just they're kind of weird, man, things, and scooters, you shouldn't ride a scooter there. And this bike path goes all the way north here, see that? And I think there's a tunnel underneath there too. Really beautiful spot. So I used to sit there with our kids. We'd just bring a picnic basket for the kids and whatever, and we'd just sit on the grass, me and my wife, and the kids would just run around all around here, enjoy the scenery. See that there? It's a beautiful spot. Really nice side. This is called Solidarity Drive. Look at those nice geese. See that there? Yeah, SubX.News. We do nice stuff. We just don't do murder, mayhem, and chaos. There you go, man. There you go. See, everybody's getting their nice picture, right? And it's a beautiful spot. There you go. Everybody comes here. It's a great spot right here. This is the spot. I think they have whatever the parking, the app, right? You gotta get the app here. That's all. You got parking spaces here too. Over there, that's a little more expensive, but pay for it. That's it. I don't mind paying for parking like for here. This is tourism, right? It's a nice spot. Maybe we should get like
Jane Addams, 44 in your outbound.
Maybe we should get a free.
By Great Clips. Emerging from winter hibernation.
Maybe on our.
Ready for spring at Great Clips. Use online check-in to get in for a great haircut.
Maybe on our city stickers. How about this idea?
Next traffic at 5:58 on News Radio 101.
I got this idea. Somebody proposed this. So we have that city sticker there, right? Maybe embed a chip or something like that. I don't care. They already monitor us. Or put a QRC code. And all city residents, when we come to these places with the QRC code, if we have a city sticker, we park for free. How about that? And see, I told you, that's the planetarium right there. I've done a whole course here at the planetarium. That's downstairs, just the planetarium. Planetarium is right underneath here. I don't know what I did here. I don't know if I was a teacher here or if I was a student here. I don't remember. I did like a week-long something here, man. I don't know. I used to do all these professional developments as a teacher, so... It's a nice spot. Fishing. I don't know how they let you fish here, but we used to fish in Burnham Harbor. We used to fish right here. It's a really nice spot. Again, come out here. This is all paid. I think it's paid parking on this side. You can't park on this side. And just park there, put your money in. You get the app, you can renew it. I don't know, maybe 10, 20, 30 bucks. Who knows? You sit out here with a picnic on a weekend or a weeknight or more. If you come out here in the morning and watch the sunrise, this is not the best place for the sunrise. Sunrise is, you're not going to see the best, but maybe, you come out here and whatever you're into, your loved one or your pets or your significant others or your grandkids or your nephews and nieces, come out here, spend some. They got buses that stop right here. If you want to take a bus stops right here. Yeah. And you talk about crime and everything. Yeah, they've had shootings and killings and murders here. I think somebody was murdered on Solidarity Drive right here, I think about a year or two ago. Yeah, it happens. Just watch out. Got to be careful. That's it. That's all I got to say. I don't know what else to say. I'm not sugarcoating anything. I just showing you that I love the city. That's Shed Aquarium right there. They're adding a whole bunch of stuff there. I guess you can buy tickets for a boat. Yeah, and then you can get the boat tickets here. I don't know if they have the boat taxi on the lake yet, but you see there's that thing that might be Wendella boats or shoreline tours. So you could even do this. You can come out here for a picnic, figure out the boat, and get online. It's probably better. And you can get on a boat here, go to the locks, switch boats at Navy Pier, and then go into the city and take another boat. If you wanted to do something super, super crazy, you could do that. It takes a little bit of logistics. You got to figure out which boats and how to do the transfer because there's locks here. Where that lady jumped into the water over there's a locks. I don't think no tour boats go through the locks. You'd have to check on me, and I don't know if I'm right or wrong. But you could technically do a boat tour of the lake. Then somehow you can get on another boat. You'd have to cross somehow past the locks, walk there, and then those boats are over by Wrigley Building. And then you can take a water taxi or a tour boat. So technically, if you want to spend all day on a nice day, think about it. Bring your picnic basket or even arrange where to buy your food, right? There's a lot of food places around here. And not that many anymore, but whatever. And you can fool around on the lake and then on the river. Or one day you can come and do a lake tour. The second time you can come and do a river tour. You can do all kinds of cool stuff here in the city. This is this is the Gold Star Memorial here. If you want to pay your respects to the fallen police officers in our city, it's right here. Soldier Field, everybody knows what this commemorates, right? Our soldiers, our fallen soldiers who fought for our freedoms, right? Against tyranny, communism, fascism. Not really communism. We never really had a war against communism. Yeah, we did in Vietnam and I think North Korea, right? So maybe, I don't know. But here's what the Soldier Field, right? There you go. That's the Field Museum. See, you can come here and take beautiful pictures, man. Come on out. Hey, look. Harry says, well, John, this don't make no sense. You talk about dangerous and killing. You just put a video up that showed a lady jumping in the water. Then you put another video that the sidewalk is dangerous. Yeah. So what? So there you go. You know the information. See, that's what I believe in. When you have information, then you can make a good judgment of what you need to do for yourself, for your family, and your community. I don't try to withhold information. Sometimes I make mistakes with my information. But, hey, it's up to you to make those decisions for yourself, right? So I don't know. Maybe I'll be quiet and I'll put on some radio calls because I'm starting to talk too much, right? But there's the tour and then Soldier Field behind us. So we got Field Museum, Shed Aquarium, and Planetarium. We got Northerly Island and Soldier Field. And these are all open, by the way. Let me show you this. I think that's part of the Soldier Field is open. You can go in and see the colonnades in there. It's open. It's a historical monument, right? That's why they can't mess with it that much. And you can go inside of there. Now I was talking about earlier the new plan. Let me punch it in. Let me show you this. Soldier Field plan with a dome. Let me show you the newest plan. This is how the plan looks. It looks a little wild.
Lightweight dome by 2026, which could increase capacity to 72,000. This would allow year-round events, but the Bears are currently focused on building a new stadium elsewhere.
So that's what they're trying to build there. You see that there? So you're looking at where it would be, right there. There, see that? I like that idea because he said that's a cheap way to do it. It's a new plastics or something, and it's going to be hanging. And it's going to be it's going to be like self-structural. So it builds on itself. It's a pretty cool concept. And then you see they're going to reroute some of the Lakeshore Drive, but then on here where the train tracks are, they're going to build over the train tracks and have hotels there. So all this will be land here. I don't know how they're going to do the Lakeshore Drive. If they're going to have walkways underneath, or are they going to drop Lakeshore Drive underneath? There was talks of that. There's also a talk before of putting by Oak Park, covering that highway there because of the exhaust fumes too. So it's a lot of these concepts coming out. And don't forget, Chicago is the place for architecture. And that's what I said earlier. If Brandon wanted to be a hero, he would go with something like that. Because that's new. It's innovative. Those guys who messed up the Lucas Museum, they were assholes. We should have got that Lucas Museum here, man. That was $1 billion project, man. They're creeps. They messed up that one. I get it. I don't like privatization of the lake. Let's see that. But we can't chase away money in our city, right? Let me put on some radio calls so I stop talking, all right? How do I do this? I got to push these buttons here. All right, now let's do some radio calls, okay? And then we'll put on the
accident report for 999. All right, John King, 19627. All right, Marine Unit Headquarters, you have 111 en route for your beat car. And then you have ambulance 42 and ambulance 4, both en route.
Thank you. We do have a shoreline boat helping us. The tour boat as well too. She's in the water there.
Okay, that's fine.
738 boys.
738 boys.
That number, Blue Line Western eastbound, car 3242.
All right, that is 08579.
Support, thank you.
783. Yep, that is 08581.
All right, ready to roll? So what should I do? I should put on the 6 o'clock news, then I'll throw on the radio calls again, and we'll start at about 5 o'clock. We'll see if we missed anything. I don't know if I should go. I have an idea of what I want to do today. I really do. I'm not going to say what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do it. We're fooling around on the lakefront, right? We went north last time, but I really want to go north for a reason today. So we're going to the north. That's what we're going. We're going north on the lakefront, okay? That's what we're doing. We're going to listen to the local news, international news, then we'll put on the radio calls. We'll see if we're missing anything. And I want to go somewhere and show you guys something, okay? Way somewhere and to talk about another topic, all right? So I hope you enjoyed that little tour. I told you, SubX.News is changing this year. Yeah, we're nice guys. I like the city. I love Chicago. I love my place. You hear how I talk about it. I grew up here. I can tell you about things that I've done. I love the city. Is it dangerous? Absolutely, it's dangerous. Is it mismanaged? Absolutely, it's mismanaged. Is there corruption? Absolutely, there's corruption. Daily tore up that Meigs Field there. Daily tore up the Meigs Field at night, if you remember that. So, but this is my city, and I want it to be better, right? And this is 6 o'clock news. And then we'll get back to the radio calls. SubX.News on the spot reporting.
Seriously injured. This comes as President Trump awaits a response from Iran to a 15-point peace proposal.
They are talking. We are talking now. They want to make a deal. Very simply, our military is the greatest in the world by far. Iran is being decimated.
Officials say 2 students are dead in a West Tennessee school bus crash. At least 7 people were flown to hospitals. The Tennessee Highway Patrol says today's crash involved a state transportation dump truck, a Chevy Trailblazer, and the school bus on Highway 70 in Carroll County. Tiger Woods is arrested and charged with DUI after a crash near his home in Jupiter Island, Florida. Authorities say Wood's SUV at high speed struck a pickup truck towing a small trailer and flipped on its side. CBS's Anna Schechter.
Remember, it was just a few years ago that he was involved in a serious car accident in the Los Angeles area, and he had been taking medication that affected him and caused that crash. He was seriously injured and really, through a ton of hard work, came back and even returned to exercising and playing golf, which is miraculous given the injuries that he sustained to his legs.
President Trump has signed an executive order to pay TSA agents, with CBS's Linda Kenyon reporting.
The Senate passed a bill to fund all of the department except ICE and Border Patrol, which would have resumed payments to TSA workers. The House did not agree to do the same. In signing his order to pay the TSA while the impasse continues, President Trump said America's air travel system has reached its breaking point. The order directs the department to use other funds, saying the TSA employees should begin seeing their paychecks as early as Monday. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
No let up yet in the lines at TSA security checkpoints. This woman was waiting in line at Baltimore Washington International, and even with TSA pre-check,
It's horrible. I mean, this is the clear line. Usually with clear, you don't wait in line at all.
the TSA says yesterday was the highest call-out rate of the shutdown at almost 12%. Paperback books that fit in your pocket have long been bestsellers, but the familiar book format is disappearing from stores. CBS's Bradley Blackburn reports.
Introduced in the 1930s, they were sold everywhere. Stores, newsstands, even vending machines.
Before that, buying a book was more of an expensive proposition, so this was aimed at people who perhaps didn't have as much disposable income as other readers.
They span genres from classic literature to steamy romances advertised on TV.
This is CBS News.
What is going on?
What's going on here? How is this possible?
Remember those pocketbooks? They were the Western. Louis L'Amour. Remember that? Those books? Oh, yeah. Shane. I didn't read the Harlequin no romances, but they were really good books. And then you had Call It a Wild. You had they were the short ones. We're not talking about those thick ones. I didn't ever like those thick. I never liked Stephen King. I've only read one or two Stephen King books. They're too thick, man. You know what I mean? I like the thin ones. You put them in your back pocket, read it on the train or on the bus. I used to ride the train and the bus all the time, and those were fun times, man. I don't know. I guess the phones took that all away, huh?
You can wear it, upgrade it, hand it down to the next generation, and the value will always
Again, I'm going somewhere. I got an idea to show something, so we'll see unless a radio call comes out. I should listen to the radio in case something happens.
Protecting our customers, providing real value and peace
I'll
of mind.
put on my ham radio.
7 decades of integrity, transparency, and trust. 4 Chicagoland locations: suburban Addison, Highland Park, Hinsdale.
I made a mistake. I got into traffic again, huh? I'm just fooling around here in this area
March
today,
Madness
huh?
revs up, a court has issued a ruling about that pervasive two-word term and others like it. CBS's Steve Kathan has more.
A federal judge has denied the NCAA's motion for a temporary restraining order to stop DraftKings from using registered trademarks associated with the men's and women's basketball tournaments. The NCAA requested DraftKings stop using March Madness, Final Four, Elite 8, and Sweet 16, and variations of those terms to promote its business. The judge indicated it was not demonstrated how the online sports wagering platform's use of those terms would cause irreparable harm. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
After a 2-month absence sparked by her 84-year-old mother's apparent abduction, Savannah Guthrie will return to NBC's Today Show on April 6th. The longtime morning show co-anchor says in an interview that aired today, joy will be her protest. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station, News Radio 105.9 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
The time now is 6:05 on Friday, March 27, 2026. Good evening, I'm Glenn Marshall, and currently we're sitting on clear skies, but it's about 40 degrees here in Chicago. Tonight is going to be clear to partly cloudy and cold. Lows ranging from 21 in the coldest western suburbs to 31 near the lake. And tomorrow, plenty of sunshine. Not as chilly in the afternoon, a high of 50, and tomorrow night, partly cloudy with a low of 41 degrees. We're going to take a look at that AccuWeather 5-day forecast at 6:15. But right now, here is your top local story on News Radio WBBM. Family members of Sheridan Gorman are offering A more pointed response to expressions of condolence from city and state leaders. It comes as the judge orders the undocumented suspect in last week's murder of the Loyola Chicago student to stay behind bars. This story is coming from WBBM political editor Jeff Buckles.
The Gorman family has issued separate statements acknowledging condolences from Governor J.B. Pritzker and Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, but both statements take the leaders to task for what they said after that. In Springfield this week, the governor cited what he called national failures in the immigration system.
The failure to have comprehensive immigration reform.
The mayor struck a similar tone while also saying the police's quick arrest of a suspect shows the city's systems are working.
Anyone, regardless of their status,
Liar.
If they commit a crime,
those were the feds that they arrested him.
The family
He's a liar.
This is a quote from
that
their statement.
prick is a liar.
Safety is not defined by how quickly a case is solved after the fact. It is defined by whether a young woman like Sheridan is protected in the first place.
Yeah.
The family goes on to say that the system failed Sheridan Gorman and that the family will not, in the statement's words, allow Sheridan's life to be reduced to a talking point or a generalization. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9. WBBM.
Emergency road work is creating a new traffic issue for the city of Joliet.
Joliet officials say that through next Friday, there will be emergency...
What a liar! He's a scumbag! They use facial recognition, and you know who had his fucking profile? The fucking feds. That dude's a fucking prick lying son of a bitch. That guy lies about the death of a 18-year-old girl, man. What a scum, that guy. That guy's a fucking scum. He's a fucking scum, Brandon Johnson. He's a lying piece of shit. They work with the feds. That's how they got him. Yeah, he's a lying piece of shit.
That's a state project.
Fucker.
Bernie Tafoya, News Radio,
Piece of
105.9 WBBM.
And at 6:08, it's time for traffic. We're running together on the 8s. And here to tell us about the crash.
That's enough of that. Let's some radio calls. Let's go chase some crime. Let's chase some crime. Let's forget those assholes. They're assholes. The family knows what happened. You know, the family's connected to the fire and police in New York. Her dad is a union guy in New York or something like that, association guy. He's not stupid. He knows exactly what went down. He knows exactly what went down. Brandon Johnson's a fucking lying piece of shit. That dude's a piece of shit who don't care about nobody except himself. He's not even an ideologue. He's not even part of the progressives. He never was. I looked through some old photos of mine last night. I got shit everywhere. You know, I used to work at the union, right? I worked at the union and I got hired in 2010. I came in with Karen Lewis. That motherfucker was nowhere near there. Neither was Stacey Davis Gates. I looked through all of my old pictures. I go back to the union into 2004. I was organizing. I was helping to take over the union from a last corrupt regime in 2008. I looked at all my pictures last night. I was up. I didn't sleep last night. I told you, right? Those are the boats here. See that there? So you do the lake tour. See the locks right there? So you do a lake tour. I think you get to over there by Navy Pier. And then you can switch to one of these river tours. You see the locks right there? It's beautiful, isn't it? I think we're going to go take the side roads though, right? See that there? That's how you do it. So I don't know how you would do it. You have to figure it out how you get from a lake tour to a river tour. See that there? That's how you would do it. We're going to keep going now. We just keep going. And maybe the lake will calm me down. I won't be so aggravated, right? That fucking prick aggravates me. Every time I listen to his fucking voice, he aggravates me with his fucking lies, man. Lying about a fucking girl, man. What an asshole. So I looked through all my old pictures. I'm talking about pictures that go back 20 damn years. I got stuff 20 years. I mean, I got to write up an article. I forgot to write up this month. My first article that I wrote about crime in Chicago and in his schools came out in 2006 of March 12th. I got to publish that. 20 years I've been doing this type of work. 20. And when I hear a fucking prick like that, Brandon Johnson fucking talking, fuck him, man. He's an asshole. He caused that girl's death because through his policies. 2 ways. The sanctuary policy, that's don't share information. But in the background, they did share information. They did talk to the feds. That's how they caught that guy. They caught that guy because of the feds. If you listen and look at those reports, they put a detainer on him before the charges were filed. So how did that happen? How did the feds know that he was being charged? because the feds help apprehend him. That's why. Because they're already working with him in the background, except that prick lies in public. That's what I'm saying. And same thing happened with the ICE agents when they were here. With Bonovi or whatever his name was. When he was here in Chicago, they were working with the ICE agents. They were. There's proof of it. Yeah, he's an asshole. He's a lying piece of shit. Yeah, he needs to be removed. They need to lock him up, or a judge needs to remove him from office for lying. He's a lying prick that endangers every kid in our city. All right, let me put on some radio calls. That guy aggravates me. When I listen to that guy, he aggravates me, man. I don't want to listen to that shit. I'm going to put on some radio calls. We're going somewhere. I'm going to show you something up here where we're going. We were up here earlier this week, but we're going to go up here some more. All right, where the hell is my radio at here? Let's put some radio calls. Maybe there's some murders and mayhem that calms me down a little bit. Man, a murder and mayhem will calm me down, right? That political crap, I don't like listening to those liars. They're lying pieces of crap. All right, let's just go. We'll go back about an hour or so, and let's see here. Where are we at? 6:11. We'll go to 5:30. Start listening to radio calls. Maybe we missed something, right? And we'll go down there, right? Listen up.
7383 David.
We're stuck in traffic, so there you go. Traffic, right? Traffic cam.
73 David. 7383 David. Squad, can we have lunch at 13th and State, please? Sure. That is 09389. 7387. 787. Show myself, Adam and Boy at the O'Hare stop. All right, so far. That is... There we go, 09401. 09401.
09706.
7356. 7356. Security going to give us visual disturbance on the train. We're going to check it out. All right, time for it. 7353. 7353. 16 Paul, do you have a number? Yep, it is 09409. 09409. South? 7867. So one more for the yeah, that is 09441. And if anyone's there, 35th is the red line at 35th. Southbound train, no car number. The 5 or 6 teenage boys smoking cigarettes and cannabis everywhere.
There you go.
732 Charlie, I guess.
Cannabis.
73. And if anyone's in the area, 35th is the red line at 35th. Southbound train, no car number. The 5 or 6 teenage boys smoking cigarettes and cannabis everywhere. 732 Charlie, I guess. 732 Charlie. 733 Charlie. 733 Charlie. You guys still at 69? How's work? Alright, you wanted to keep an eye out for that train. My 47th car is at lunch. It was last east off. No car number, just said a bunch of teenagers were smoking cigarettes and weed on the train.
7283 what?
793.
793.
Yep, that is 09485.
5 to 6 teenagers smoking weed and cigarettes on the red line train going southbound from 35th Street.
0047 South Avenue. Said, stabbed in the neck. The weapon has been recovered. No further force on action.
What happened?
7386 Charlie. 786 Charlie.
432 units and 4 citywide, a person stabbed 10047 South Avenue N. Said, stabbed in the neck. The weapon has been recovered. No further force on action.
Avenue N.
7386 Charlie.
Stab.
786 Charlie. Number for Clark and Lake Blue Line 100. Yep, that is 09491.
7383 Charlie.
Charlie.
Can you give me that description one more time for one?
No descriptions, unfortunately. Just said 5 or 6 teenage males smoking cigarettes and cannabis.
Those going southbound?
Yeah, correct. Supposed to be southbound. 38215.
3215.
You check northbound at Chicago. Blue vehicle stalled in the center lane of traffic.
Can you send you the man this guy?
Yeah, we'll get it real quick.
7383 Charlie.
738 Charlie.
That's right.
Okay. 132 units in 4 City Wide, a person staff 10047 South Avenue N. Said stabbed in the neck. The weapon has been recovered. No further
Person stand. 10020 South Avenue N. Weapon recovered.
Number for Clark and Lake Blue Line under.
Yep, it is 09491.
7383 Charlie.
Person stand.
Can you give me that description one more time for one?
No descriptions, unfortunately. Just said 5 or 6 teenage males smoking cigarettes and cannabis.
Person stand.
Those going southbound?
Yeah, correct. Supposed to be southbound. 38215.
3215.
You check northbound at Chicago. Blue vehicle stalled in the center lane of traffic.
Can you send you the man this guy?
Yeah, we'll get it rolling for you.
7383 Charlie.
738 Charlie.
That's right. 7868.
Unit on City Wide 1.
7386 David.
Right, 86 David, go ahead.
Number for Chicago, red line 6.
All right, that's going to be 09522. 09522.
1046. 7386 Charlie.
City Wide 1, stand by real quick.
Can we get numbers for Clark and Lake offer?
Alright, stand by on City Wide 1 unless you have any emergency, okay? Stand by. Alright, so you need holding on City Wide 1, go ahead, I'm sorry about that.
7386 Charlie.
86 Charlie, go ahead.
Can I get a number for Clark and Lake offer?
Alright, that's 09541. 09541.
7388 boy.
88 boy.
So can I get a number for Blue Line Illinois for district sample check, please?
Alright, your platform is 09544. 09544.
8383 Adam.
83 Adam.
Keep this red line set.
95 is 09553. 09553.
M100, citywide 1.
M100?
Yeah, can you put me on, and I'm going to.
I'm sorry, there's a lot of background. Put you on the event at Marine Headquarters of that? M100?
Yeah, sorry, I clicked over to Zone 1 on accident. Yes, could you just please put me on the Monroe Harbor Marine unit job? I head to Northwestern.
Okay, that's where you're on it. I got you going to Northwestern.
4735.
4735.
Red K9, good evening.
Good evening.
738 Charlie.
83 Charlie.
Event number for 69 red line check.
Take 09572. 09572.
5700.
5700 Adam.
Is the helicopter up or no?
PH1 or PH2? PH3 on the air?
PH3, say PH3. We're actually pulling the helicopter out now. We're done with all our checks. What do you got?
Alright, 5700 Adam.
We have a carjacked vehicle currently on I-290 westbound from Springfield, Illinois, plate Frank John 88361.
There you go, carjacked vehicle.
It's going to take us about 10 minutes to get some, if you want to keep calling it out for the ground unit, go ahead, but we'll reach out to you in about 10 minutes when we get our radios up and running.
Carjacked vehicle. Rush hour Friday.
7380 Charlie. Can I get numbers for the Blue Line Medical District, please? Alright, it's 0960.
8384 Adam.
84 Adam.
Yes, we are red line, 63rd red line. Can I get upper and lower run numbers, please?
Just one number. We're going to be offer. It's going to be 09652. 09652.
7363.
7363. 7363.
November, sir, Mike November.
Carjacked vehicle going on 290.
09673. 09673.
7388 Adam.
88 Adam.
Get in that number from 50 Holman Blue Line, westbound, car 7173.
What's the car number?
7173.
Alright, that's going to be 0981. 0961.
Thank you. 4734.
4734.
That's the Holman number for 1110 North North Branch.
Alright, that's 09686. 09686. 85 Charlie. Alright, 09697. 09697.
7362.
7362.
Number for drop off and move result direct. Sir, making a red up back.
Alright, your number is 09706. 09706.
384 David.
84 David.
That number for Surmac Red Line.
Alright, it's 09711. 09711.
34.
Houston 22 in City Wild. We have a person with a gun at 94th and Ashland. Ashland 94. Call states a male black was robbing a guy with a gun. The offender is a male black 5'7", last seen wearing a gray hoodie, sitting with a group of 3 or more male blacks. Zone 9, District 22 clear.
That's a robbery on 94th and Ashland, right? What was that?
7388. Houston 22 in City Wild. We have a person with a gun at 94th and Ashland. Ashland 94. Call states a male black was robbing a guy with a gun. The offender is a male black.
Robbery, 94th and Ashland. Group of people just robbing pedestrians.
Zone 9, District 22 clear.
That's what they're doing. They're sitting around robbing people, right?
88 Charlie.
Negative number for the turnstile is Medical District, Blue Line.
Alright, it's 09753.
That's what you just heard, right? One more time. Let's listen to that call right here.
7388 Charlie.
Houston 22 in City Wild. We have a person with a gun at 94th and Ashland. Ashland 94. Call states a male black was robbing a guy with a gun. The offender is a male black 5'7", last seen wearing a gray hoodie, sitting with a group of 3 or more male blacks. Zone 9, District 22 clear.
There you go. It's a group sitting there robbing people as they walk by. That's what you just heard. It's 6:25. People are coming back from work, from school. They're doing whatever they're doing. So there's a group of assholes, 94th and fucking Ashland, sitting there laughing, smoking dope, drinking booze, robbing people as they walk by. That's what you just heard. One more time. Listen to this. This is a group sitting here. Listen. Listen up. Listen to this call. One more time. Listen up.
22 in City Wild. We have a person with a gun at 94th and Ashland. Ashland 94. Call states a male black was robbing a guy with a gun. The offender is a male black 5'7", last seen wearing a gray hoodie, sitting with a group of 3 or more male blacks. Zone 9, District 22 clear.
That's what you just heard.
7388 Charlie.
88 Charlie.
Negative, and number for the turnstile is Medical District, Blue Line.
All right, it's 09753. 09753.
And you just heard.
Sure.
P3, police on company 33 by 1 word back. Up, radio's operational. Any updates, brother?
P3 10-4, 5700 Adam. 5700 Adam. Alright, P3, I guess nothing right now.
Alright, no worries, but we are available.
Okay.
7385, give me an event number for 96th Street Red Line.
Alright, 85, that's 09761. 09761.
2384 boy.
84 boy.
Hey squad, how are you this evening? Can I have 2 numbers for the green lot at Ashton, please?
Where the girl was murdered, right? The girl was murdered up here, right?
Good afternoon. I'm only allowed to give you one number.
Loyola, right? Murder capital. Murdering students, and everybody knows they covered up a rape too, right? Northeastern University had a rape on Sunday. They didn't report it till what? Tuesday, Wednesday morning. A girl got raped at the Nest. Yeah, I know that place. My kid goes to school there. I got to talk to him about some stuff. I'm going to tell you which kid, but my kid goes to Northeastern. I'm going to talk to him. When did they send out that thing and what did they say? Because the police in Northeastern are saying 2 different things and they covered it up. And they covered up a rape at Northeastern Illinois that happened Sunday. Yeah. They're covering up crime in the city. Sure are.
7386 David. 7386
David. 86 David.
10 over for Chicago Red.
Now you know why they want to encrypt these radio calls. They don't want no one to know what's happening. Because these are direct calls from people from the dispatch to the police. They're not crimes. Not all dispatches are crime. You should know that, right? There you go.
4730, go ahead.
I get a good number for the CTC, please.
Alright, that's 09811. 09811.
7384 Charlie.
84 Charlie.
2 events, 47 to the red line for station platform.
I can only give you one. We'll give you upper. It's 09833. 09833.
We're almost to live calls. We're at 2 calls left. So I put the calls back about a half hour so we can hear if we missed anything, okay? So now we're up to date. This is the last call from Crime is Down. It's a rebroadcast. So now we're up to date. We're live. If somebody was shot, Crime Chasers said somebody was shot on the west side. Let me double check where they were shot. I gotta double check this, right? So we're gonna listen to 6:30 news now, okay? We're rolling, so keep up. SubX.News Live, 6:30.
Backed up clogged drain flooding your space? Or a persistent dripping sink? Trust Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, Electric. Four Seasons professional, fully licensed team handles it 24/7 without added costs for after hours, weekends, or holidays. Four Seasons proudly earns over 30,000 5-star Google reviews and the Torch Award for Marketplace Ethics.
For all the right reasons, call it 664 Seasons.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station, News Radio 105.9 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
The time now is 6:30. Good evening. I'm Glenn Marshall, and these are the top stories on News Radio WBBM. Tiger Woods is behind bars and charged for suspected DUI following a rollover crash near his home in Florida. President Trump signs an executive order that will pay TSA agents amid a DHS funding showdown on Capitol Hill. Almost a dozen U.S. service members are wounded by Iranian strikes on the Saudi air base. Plus,
they can floor it all they want, but their car won't go fast Buster with a device that's part of a new proposal designed to shut down super speeders in Illinois. I'm political editor Jeff Buckles.
And the Bulls face off the Thunder in Oklahoma City tonight, and the Blackhawks are in New York to skate with the Rangers. That game has started, and no one has scored in the first period. But tonight, we are expecting lows ranging from 21 degrees in the coldest western suburbs to 31 near the lake. Tomorrow's going to be sunshine, not as chilly in the afternoon, a high of 50 degrees with a low of 41 degrees. Here is your top story. Golf legend Tiger Woods has been arrested and charged after a rollover car crash near his home in Jupiter Island, Florida. His car went over an embankment after clipping a truck. The Martin County Sheriff says that Woods was not injured, but he showed signs of impairment at the scene. And Schechter reports that while he passed an alcohol breathalyzer test, he refused to give a urine sample.
With a high-profile person like Tiger Woods, there's going to be a lot of attention. I'm hoping that we learn a little bit more what type of medication he might have had in his system.
Now, Woods has been charged with a DUI with property damage and refusal to submit to a lawful test. And a deal to end the 42-day partial government shutdown from the Senate will not be considered in the House of Representatives. CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand reports from the White House.
Overnight, there were signs of progress as the Senate unanimously passed a compromise to fund all of DHS except for ICE and border protection. But Speaker Mike Johnson says it won't even get a vote in the House.
The reason that we can't accept this ridiculousness, is because we're not going to risk not funding the agencies that keep the American people safe.
As TSA workers face missing a second full paycheck today, President Trump signed an executive.
So, just to give you reference points, Sheridan Gorman was murdered. We passed the place she was murdered at. But Leon Park Beach, we have videos of this area. They were doing drug dealing and prostitution. This is where that guy lived, right here at this beach park. There were migrants over here, right there. This is full of migrants. They shut down this beach park for a long time. Right there. Gorman was killed. Oh, you can see it through the woods there. You see that the walkway over there? It's right there. Gorman was killed. Right there. Over there. Got it? She was killed right there. The migrants were right here. And then he lives right in back of us, right? Somewhere on Sheridan. So, you know who knew all of this? The feds. Because the feds were part of it. We'll talk about that another time. I think that's too much for today. We're going to keep going north. We're going to try to catch that sunset somewhere special, okay?
From Russia to Iran, the Kremlin has denied the reports. And this Dwyer.
The Trump administration is dealing with a cyber hack. Information from FBI Director Kash Patel's personal email has been leaked online.
The FBI says it is aware of malicious actors targeting Director Kash Patel as a pro-Iranian group claims credit for hacking Patel's personal Gmail account. In a message to their website posted Friday, Handala boasted that Patel will now find his name among the list of successfully hacked victims. Files in the leaked cache include old photos of Patel, some from more than 10 years ago, showing him casually dressed, sniffing a cigar and posing next to an antique sports car. Leaked documents include a resume with contact information. Andala is the same group that claimed credit for disrupting systems at Stryker, a Michigan-based medical tech company. Federal law enforcement is offering...
Migrants used to live then from Leon Park Beach. They moved them over to Super 8.
I'm Jennifer King.
A new report ranks Chicago amongst the...
They used to stab people and rob people there, the migrants at that food store.
IQ Air ranked Chicago as the third most polluted major U.S. city in 2025. The study found the city's fine particle pollution rose to nearly double the World Health Organization's recommended limit, increasing more than 15% from 2024. Contributing factors include wildfire smoke, a rare dust storm, and ongoing traffic and industrial emissions. Experts say local pollution, especially in high-traffic areas, combined with climate-related events, is worsening air quality, with some communities recording even higher pollution levels. Mallory Warbroker, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owe them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage argument coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. I had to don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Look at all the potholes here. We're way on the north side here. What did I just show you guys? I just showed you the bad sidewalk on Lakefront. Look at all these potholes here. Where's all our money going every day? Where does our money physically go every day? Look at all those potholes. And then I showed you guys they're tearing up Lakeshore Drive during the rush hour. What an idiot.
America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another.
Look at all these potholes. Look at them all.
Take our technology to
what the heck is that?
With digital marketing, software development,
what is that?
And business insights into our key.
A street shouldn't. They're gonna say it was winter. This is gonna be the liberal excuse. It was winter. Like, yeah, we have winter every year. I think they fixed this road here a little while ago. I remember they tore this one up about 2-3 years ago. It might be on one of my videos. It might be on one of my videos here. 2-3 years ago, they tore this up. This road didn't last 2-3 years. I'm pretty sure they did this right here, this section. I remember they did it. Yeah. We need to start looking. Look, I just posted on my Facebook. Where is our money going every single day? Today, where did our money go? What we should demand. This is what we should demand. Where did our money go today? All the money we gave to taxes, all the payroll, everybody working today. CPS2, what did they do? What did they physically do? What did they physically do? Did they do work? Did they do work today? Because our streets are tore up. We got graffiti everywhere. We got shootings everywhere. We got students being raped and murdered. We got people jumping into the water. How did that lady was over there jumping into water? How'd she get over there? Didn't you watch her? How did we have our police academy bombed yesterday? There was a bomb yesterday, or whatever it was. Did anybody get a report from the local news? Did any news agency report the bomb yesterday, or whatever it was, at the police academy? Did anyone report that? Except SubX.News. Did anybody report that story? How does somebody leave something by the police academy? It's the same thing that happened. What was it happened? There was another story. Oh, about in the fall, I think, October, November, I posted a picture of a car in the middle of the road right by City Hall, and people made fun of me. They said, "You're stupid, John. You're stupid, John. He's broken." I'm like, how is a car broken down in the middle of City Hall and sits there for a half hour? That's kind of dangerous, don't you think so? In post 9/11 times, post 9/11, there's a car in the middle of downtown broken down right next to City Hall for a half hour. I got it all on tape. And people made fun of me. They said I was stupid. I'm like, wait, you can't have a broken car right in the middle of downtown, right next to City Hall. That's kind of what is that? That's a Timothy McVeigh? How did we have a bomb threat at the police academy? You didn't see somebody leaving something there? You don't have sensors and video cameras that guard the perimeter? That's kind of weird. Think about these questions that I'm asking. I get it. I'm very critical, and I look at issues. I just showed you for the whole first half hour to 45 minutes of why I love the city. I showed you how beautiful it looks, right? Then we see some potholes. Now we're going to go see a sunset, hopefully. And then I'm going to go do some other things. But think about this. How did we have an object that might have been a bomb left by our police academy, the academy where young people join our police? How did we have an abandoned car in the middle of Chicago next to City Hall, and it wasn't thrown away? There was no police presence. How did that happen? How did that happen? Where is our money going to fix the potholes? How did a lady go all the way out on a pier and jump into the water? How did that happen? But yet when I go on a crime scene where Tiffany Henyard's dad was shot on Kedzie, I get yelled at that I shouldn't be taping things. Remember that one? That was Monday, wasn't it? That prick cop says, oh, you can't be taping. Remember that one? And then they messed with me about my, whatever fell out of my pocket. Remember that, right? You can't be taping. That's the first thing out of that asshole's mouth. First fucking thing out of his mouth wasn't, hey, what's up? What's going on is you can't tape. That's a lie. Anyone can tape anywhere, at any time. Anytime, anywhere. As long as they're behind a crime scene. So that guy was a lying piece of shit cop. Yeah, I'm going to say it right here on SubX. There's a lying piece of shit. What happened with the black lady who had her car carjacked, or they tried to carjack her, and 2 young black juveniles were there, and she's like, you lock them up, lock them up. And the cop says, oh, you can't say that, they're juveniles. So the cop was talking back to the victim. Imagine that. Imagine that. A black woman who just got carjacked or attempted carjacking. Imagine that. Older lady, senior lady, let's see what we can see over here. Senior, older black lady survives a carjacking, gets her car back, and says, lock them up. And the cop says, those are juveniles. To her. To the victim. So she abuses the victim. That's victim abuse. That's the definition of victim abuse. Revictimization. That's you wore a red dress and lipstick. Everybody knows that. It's called victimization. To a black woman who's talking to black kids saying those are criminals. Lock them up. And the cop says, oh, no. So that's what we're witnessing every single day here. Every single day. It's nonstop. So this is why I went on this whole blah, blah, blah talking like that. We need to demand an audit, a daily audit, every day. Demand it. Where does our money physically go every single day? Who's getting paid? And what did they do for the pay we give them? Teachers, city workers, county workers, state workers. They're sitting in a fucking office, fucking around on the internet, doing political posts, because that's what they do. These trolls that come on my page, most of them are city and county workers. Most of them are city and county workers. That's who they are. They come on these pages and they play games. Yeah, I know that. I know that for a fact. We need to audit every single government worker, what they do every day for the money we pay them. And they're supposed to work 8 hours a day. I know those contracts. Teachers only work 7 hours a day. But they need to physically prove what they did every day. That's what we should demand as citizens. It's an easy thing. It's a bookkeeping thing. That's all it is. It's bookkeeping. What is everybody? You need to work. You can't just be sitting at a desk. You can't be sitting in a truck behind an abandoned building. You know what I'm talking about. And look, I got city workers as my brothers and sisters. I'm a former government employee. I got a government pension coming. If I live that long. If I live to 64, I get a public pension. If I live that long. We'll see. I think I will. But that's what we got to demand. That's an easy ask. What do every employee of the city, including cops, we want to know where they're at. Where they're at. What are they doing every day? Well, I can't work. This is going to be this. I can't work 8 hours a day. What do you want me to do? That's what they're going to say. I'm telling you. You want to know the excuse? This is the liberal excuse. If you get an audit of every employee that works for the county, the state, the city, even the feds, the first thing the liberal is going to say, what do you want me to do? I can't work 8 hours. They're going to say that. I'll bet you $1 billion. I bet you $1 billion damn dollars. Got that? That's their excuse. I can't work for 8 hours. Well, they can get off the job. Let's hire some new people. That's what we need to be doing. We need to audit all these people, right? See this? I like this bike lane. This is a little better bike lane. I talked about this one before. You see how it's separated? See that one here? I like this. Oh, whoa, man. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong one. See this bike lane here? It's beautiful. It's a beautiful bike lane. Look at that. It's completely separate. It's separate from the sidewalk. And look at this. Look at this. Look at this. And it's separate from the street. It's not even close. Why don't the city have these? Do you see the difference? It's completely separate. It's a separate system. It's not part of the road. It's a bike lane. And look, what's the other thing here that they have here? The city can, this is Evanston, I think. They can plow the street. See the difference? See the difference? This is how normal human beings who are smart design a bike lane. You see the bike lane there? That's a real bike lane. That's a real one. There's a better. The better one actually has it on the curve, doesn't have it down. Because you can jump the curve here and hurt that guy. The better bike lane is up. It's up. It's not part of. You can't get to it. That's the better bike lane. That's part of the sidewalk, and you can still jump that curve. But that's a good bike lane. You see how that bike lane is right there? That's the way a bike lane should be, right there. Right, that's the real bike lane right there. Designed well. We're going to try to get to a sunset, right? That's where I'm heading to. That's enough of my jibber-jabbering, right? We're up here in Evanston by the Northwestern campus. Look at that. That's the way a bike lane should be designed. You see that bike lane there? It's completely separate from the car system. And it's doesn't interfere with driving or cleaning the streets. See that there? It could be a little bit better. It could be a little better. It can be curbed there can be a tree line that separates it. That way it actually is very protected. But that's a little more expensive. But this is a better bike lane than Chicago has. You see how that is there? See that bike lane? That's how a bike lane should be. Should be a separate system that's not going back and forth with cars or traffic. See that there? It's separate. Bike lane up here in Evanston. The way it should be. Why don't Chicago follow what you're supposed to do and do it right and protect the bicyclists? In Chicago, those bike lanes are not good at all. Now here it ends. It's just not the best thing over here. You see that? Now you're integrated with traffic again, which is a little bit dangerous here. SubX.News on the spot report, and we're up here in Evanston at 6:48 p.m., March 27, 2026. All right, where are we going? We're trying to get to a sunset video. That's what I'm trying to get to. So, again, we need to audit all these city workers. That's our money. It's our money. It's our tax dollars. They're not private companies, but they act like it's a private company. Why? Because they're ideologues, right? Oh, man. Did I erase that? It looks like I erased that video. Oh, well. Oh, well, I erased that video. And I'll get it from my night video. I'll have to upload it. I thought I made a little short video there, but it erased. I hit the wrong button. That's the way life goes. All right, let's keep moving, right? Let's do some radio calls, maybe. See if we missed anything. What's that? I just seen some. Let's put on some radio calls, right? And that way you don't have to listen to my jibber-jabbering all the time.
Broke down vehicle in the middle of the street. I had a tow truck coming, so might get call of a traffic jam over here.
Okay, 10-4.
I think I want to be somewhere here. I was over here, but I don't know. I can get a nice sunset video now here. You gotta look around. Look around. I gotta look around. Somewhere up here. I think sunset's at 7 today, right? But that's what we need to demand. You're not going to stop murders. You're not going to stop drug dealing. You're not going to You're not going to lock and deport your way out of these problems. That's a false narrative there. You need to lock people up and you need to deport them. I'm not saying not to do that. Oh man, look at that bird. Almost hit our car, right? But what we need to do is start asking for accountability. Where does our money go, right? So today, there's about, how many city workers are there? 30 to 40,000 city workers and contractors? Where did all that, what did they do today? What did they all do today? Physically, what did all those workers do? Well, that's too much to ask for, John. Well, no, it's not. If we're paying for it, then we should know that stuff, right?
7385.
7385.
Yes, on 79 and Lafayette, there's a broke down vehicle in the middle of the street. I spoke to the driver. She's got a tow truck coming, so might get call of a traffic jam over here.
Okay, top one.
We gotta find a place to sit and watch the sunset and then listen to some meditation music, and I'll start talking, right? What do we miss? About 10 minutes of calls. We'll go back. I think I got that one. Let's see this one.
7388 Charlie.
88 Charlie.
Negative. His number for the turnstile is Medical District, Blue Line.
All right, it's 09753. 09753.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're way up here. Where the rich people live.
Radio's operational. Any updates for us?
PH 310-4, 5700 Adam. 5700 Adam. Alright, PH3, I guess nothing right now.
Alright, no worries, but we are available.
7385, give me the VIN number for 96th Street Red Line.
Alright, 85, that's 09761. 09761.
3384 boy.
84 boy.
Hey squad, how are you? Can I have two numbers for the green launch pad hash, please? One for the turnstile, one for the platform.
And we got, this is our
give you one number.
This is our second video today, so we can run this longer. So that's what we're probably gonna do. I just need to find a place to watch the sunset up here. Anybody know their way around up here?
Okay, that's one.
Where I can get a nice view of the sunset?
87, David?
Kenilworth. Expensive area.
For Jefferson, it's 09774. 09774.
7386 boy.
86 boy.
Please leave an event number. We are at Jackson Blue Line.
Alright, Jackson Blue is 09781. 09781.
10-4.
7386 David. 7386 David.
86 David.
That number for Chicago Red.
Alright, it's 09805. 09805.
There's expensive areas here. Kenilworth. That's where we're at.
Got our Charlie unit coming in?
Is that where the rich people live?
4730, go ahead.
I get a good number for the CPC, please.
Alright, that's 09811. 09811.
I wonder if they got carjackings up here. I don't think so.
84 Charlie.
Two events, 47th of the red line for station platform.
I can only give you one. We'll give you upper, it's 09833. 09833.
7385 Dave.
85 David.
Can I have an exit number? Station 9 red line.
Look at these houses. You ever see houses like that?
09838. 09838.
They got houses for houses here, where the servants used to live. They got houses for houses. Look up, come on up here. Check this out. Essex and Kenilworth. That's where we're at. It's super rich up here, man. Yeah. These people, they ain't got carjackers up here, man. I bet you I don't smell no reefer if I open up my window here. Yeah, I don't think so. Man, they got man. I've never seen a house that expensive. Kenilworth, that's where we're at right now. Super expensive.
I'm hearing Monroe. We're going to use event number 0987. 0987.
738 Charlie.
Don't stop on tracks. Yeah, this is a live track here. We don't want to do that. We'll get killed.
All right, that's 09914.
We don't want to get murdered today.
385, man.
I'm going to some place. Hopefully we can get to the sunset, right?
All right, take 09923. 09923.
388 boy.
88 boy.
Checking in the number for the blue line flash going eastbound car 3368.
All right, that's going to be 09932. 09932.
74, thank you.
Yep.
Carjackers, weed smokers,
83 David.
meth heads. There's probably meth heads out here. I wonder if there's any zombies out here. And we might go looking for zombies out here when we're done with our sunset video, right? We're going to look for some Kenilworth zombies. I'm sure there are.
7383 David.
Listen up. Listen up.
Where the matter in progress, 7839 South Phillips, 7939 South Phillips. There's a crowd of people fighting on the street. At least 10 to 15 females and males as well.
73rd and Phillips, fighting in the street.
Unit 8 is citywide. We get a sound in progress coming in. Also, the battery in progress. 16 on South Kidney at the Walgreens. One is coming in as details to follow. Male and female arguing. They somewhat possibly
A bunch of people fighting in the street, 73rd and Phillips.
83
Charlie.
83 Charlie.
Sorry, 7388 Charlie. Can I get numbers, please? UIC for what?
All right, that's 09985. 09985.
37 David.
87 David.
Report check on every number left.
All right, 09988. 09988.
384 Adam.
84 Adam.
63rd on the turn stop. Can I get that number?
Sure, 09990. 09990.
Trying to get to a sunset. We're on Green Bay Road. This might be Winnetka now.
83 Adam.
Lori Dan, you remember her? Here. Don't ever fall into this. It's an inner city problem. It's a them problem, that racist Ku Klux Klan stuff. That's Ku Klux Klan talk, right? Lori Dan. Who was Lori Dan? Everybody remember that one? I think she's the one that shot up the school here. Remember that? No. You just seen a white girl murdered 3 people. Ran to Indiana. So let's not get confused with this black, white, Mexicans, and Hispanics, even immigrants, migrants. The thing about the migrants is they shouldn't be in the country in the first place. That's their thing. These people who are defending that migrant killer, that illegal alien, they're wrong. That guy should never have been in this country, period. That's the point. Secondly, when he was arrested for that shoplifting, he should have stayed in jail and should have been deported, which he wasn't. Third, he got a warrant. He never was picked up. Fourth, he got a gun from somewhere. So he's illegal in the country, doing crimes, got warrants, and got a gun. And then these liberals get on my page and they start talking smack. I'm tired of that stuff. Don't come on my page with your brainwashed talk. That guy should never have been in our society. One guy started talking about it's the gun culture. The gun culture. Gun culture? Gun culture? What about the nurse that was murdered by the migrant? Huh? Everybody remember that one? He didn't use a gun to strangle her and kill her, did he? You know what I'm talking about, right? I gotta punch your name in. So many of these young girls so many young girls getting killed by these migrants. I don't know what's going on here. It's sick. Those are some sick people, you know what I mean? They must hate women. That must be that machismo stuff or something, right? It's weird. If you notice, start looking at that pattern. We got to check if that's true. That these guys are killing. There was the mass killing here. He killed 3 trafficked women down there on Oh man, where was that at? 60th something. Remember, not talking about the mass killing on 59th Street. There was another killing off 67th Street. A 3 with 2 women shot in the head. 1/3 one, she survived. Remember that one? It's all women it starts on. These are some machismo, femicide people, right? They believe they have power over women. Something like that. They have that. I don't want to say culturally, but it's starting to look like that. We need to examine that. Is there patterns here? I'm sure there's got to be some. I bet you someone knows what's going on, and they're not telling us. Like I said, they found that one guy, right? And real quick with facial recognition. All right, let's listen to the news, and then we're going to look at the sunset, all right? We're getting to my spot where I want to see the sunset. You're going to listen to 7 o'clock news now. 7 o'clock.
Time when we have been warned that one of the possible retaliatory acts we might see as a result of the Iranian war are cyber incidents. So this is one of a series of incidents that have been happening since the start of the war in Iran.
To get the airport lines moving again, President Trump has signed an executive order to get TSA's workers paid, and CBS historian Small on where the money is coming from, since funding legislation has failed in Congress.
He told reporters today when they asked him about where those funds were coming from, he said to ask for us vote. So he's putting the onus on them to figure it out, folks in his Treasury Department and other cabinets to figure out where to pour that money. It's up to interpretation. He's not calling it an emergency order for this. It's purely pulling from funds that had already seemingly been appropriated.
It could mean fewer trips to the drugstore. Researchers are working on living pharmacies that could be implanted in humans to continuously produce your medication inside your body. Northwestern University biomed engineering professor Jonathan Rivney says they've been testing the implants in animals.
We're working on future iterations that would have onboard sensing that would allow us to turn the production of the drugs on and off depending on the dosing that's required or the time of day that you might need the drugs.
It would replace your pill box for months. This is CBS News.
It's one of the most successful law and justice programs.
Did you just hear what they want to do? They want to put a robot in our bodies that creates drugs. That's what that is. It's a robot. I don't know how it works, but that's pretty wild there. You just heard it on the news, right? They want to put something in our bodies that gives out medicine.
The time now is 7:03 on Friday, March 27th, 2026. Good evening. I'm Glenn Marshall, and currently we're sitting around 43 degrees.
We're trying to get to the sunset.
Tonight is going to be clear to partly cloudy and cold. Lows ranging from 21 degrees in the coldest western suburbs to 31 near the lake. Tomorrow, plenty of sunshine, not as chilly in the afternoon, a high of 50 degrees with a low of 41. Our top local story on News Radio WBBM starts right now. A judge today ordered the undocumented Venezuelan national charged in last week's shooting death of Loyola Chicago student Sheridan Gorman to stay behind bars. Now the victim's family members are lashing out at how top city and state leaders are framing her death. WBBM political editor Jeff Buckles has the details.
The latest statements from the Gorman family acknowledge expressions of condolence this week from Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson.
There's no words that one could express that could properly console a family that lost their baby.
And Governor J.B. Pritzker.
The Gorman family suffered mightily.
But they also reject both leaders' attempts to pivot to criticism of federal immigration policy or broader discussion about public safety. In the family's words, what happened to Sheridan cannot be reduced to a senseless tragedy. This was not random, it was not inevitable, and it cannot be treated as though it were. The family also references a statement made by local alderwoman Maria Haddon in response to a question about whether Sheridan Gorman's death was targeted. Again, this is a quote. Our daughter was not in the wrong place at the wrong time. The system failed her. Family members, friends, and others are set to hold a vigil in Sheridan Gorman's memory in her hometown in upstate New York. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9, WBBM.
A bill to overhaul how public universities get funded in Illinois is moving forward. despite opposition.
House Bill 1581 would create a needs-based spending formula similar to the state's K-12 model, distributing new funding to Illinois public colleges and universities, adding about $135 million of investment a year over the next 15 years. Leaders at the University of Illinois opposed the legislation during testimony before the House Committee in Springfield, sharing concerns that the proposed bill would distribute funding unfairly. The Adequate and Equitable Public University Funding Act passed out of committee and heads to the House floor. Mallory Vorbroker, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
The Chicago Transit Authority has announced that more than $100 million in funding frozen by the Trump administration has been unfrozen. It comes days after a federal judge granted a temporary restraining order directing the U.S. Department of Transportation and Federal Transit Administration to end the funding suspension by today. Now, the money is connected to the Red Line extension and Red and Purple Line modernization projects. The government has opened an online reimbursement portal to allow the CTA to submit invoices. Convicted in the killings of 3 family members nearly 50 years ago, a former Northwest suburban woman is once again denied parole.
In May of 1976, Mary and Frank Colombo, both in their early 50s, were shot in the head and their throats were slit inside their home in Elk Grove Village. Their daughter, Patricia Colombo, who was 19 years old at the time, convicted of their murders, along with the killing of her 13-year-old brother, Michael, who had been stabbed 87 times with a pair of scissors. At a hearing before the Illinois Prisoner Review Board this week, where parole was again denied, a lawyer for Colombo said that she had accepted responsibility, but blamed sexual abuse at an early age and the influence of a much older love interest for her behavior. That love interest, Frank DeLuca, also a convicted accomplice in the killings, died behind bars in 2023 at the age of 83. Brandon Eisen, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A federal jury has found a North Suburban man guilty of threatening the lives of judges, doctors, lawyers, and the president of the United States.
58-year-old Trent Schneider posted a video on Instagram in October angrily claiming judges, lawyers, doctors, and even President Trump were responsible for crimes against him. He mentioned his foreclosed home was being put up for auction. Federal prosecutors said that in the video, Schneider claimed that he knew how to get guns and take care of the job himself. But the Winthrop Harbor man's lawyer said Schneider was not really threatening the lives of people and, in fact, was a big Trump supporter. Prosecutor said the video said it all, and a jury decided the threat was real and convicted him. Schneider faces up to a 5-year prison sentence.
Beautiful, right? Sunset.
Bernie Foya, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
And at 7:08, it's time to take a look at traffic and weather together on the 8th. It's sponsored by JulieBeforeYouDig.com. And here is the Lisa Costi.
On the Tri-State southbound, still jammed from the 82nd Street Toll Plaza now to past 95th. That multi-vehicle crash is blocking the 2 right lanes. And then you've got delays. You're heavy from I-80 onto 8094. That's your story on the Tri-State. The Reagan, the veterans doing well. Other slowdowns on the tollways include the Jane Addams eastbound, you're heavy, approaching the ramp to westbound I-190 with that long-term road work there on the exit ramp. No problems on the Edens. The Kennedy inbound, 30 minutes from here to the Jane Byrne interchange. Outbound is a 28-minute ride. Useless express lanes, they'll save you 2 minutes. The Eisenhower inbound heavy from 17 to Austin, 42 from the Jane Addams to downtown, 24 from Manheim. Outbound is a 36-minute ride to I-90. The Stevenson just slow central to Pulaski inbound, 29 minutes from I-355 to DeSable Lakeshore Drive. Outbound doing great, no delays. I-55 in Will County is clear. The Dan Ryan inbound solid from the Stevenson to the Jane Byrne interchange. It's 22 minutes in. Outbound much better. You're slow from the Jane Byrne interchange just before 18th. It's 14 minutes to the Bishopport split. I-57 looking good. The Bishopport inbound's fine. Outbound still solid from 115th to past Dalton with that long-term road work. 27 minutes to 8094. DeSable Lakeshore Drive, you're heavy from Roosevelt to Jackson, northbound, and Navy Pier to Chicago Avenue. Southbound, tight from the Oak Street curve to Chicago. Traffic sponsored by JulieBeforeYouDig.com. When digging, just one strike to an underground utility line can interrupt critical services and cause serious injury. Stop a disaster before it starts. Contact Julie before you dig. Every project, every time. Your next traffic at 7:18 on News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Thanks a lot, Lisa. And lows are ranging from 21 degrees in the coldest western suburbs to 31 near the lake. That's happening tonight, and tomorrow is going to be plenty of sunshine with a high of 50 and a low of 41 tomorrow night. It's currently 43 degrees at O'Hare, 44 degrees at Midway, and along the lakefront, it is 33 degrees. The time now is 7:10.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000...
That's the sunset in front of you, everybody. Why aren't you happy? All right, let's put on some meditation music and just sit here and relax, right? What are we going to do? Release stress? What are we going to do? It's beautiful, right? You know where I'm at. Everybody knows where I'm at? I'll show you where I'm at. Hopefully I don't get backdoored and they don't send no hitman to kill me or nothing, right? Let's go see. I don't think so, though. I'm pretty far up somewhere. It's going to take a while for some... That's where I'm at. If you want to know where I'm at right now. There you go. Okay. Skokie Lagoons. It's a beautiful spot. Very beautiful spot. We're going to sit here. We're going to listen to some meditation music. Which one are we going to do today? Copyright free meditation music. Music for your project. No, we don't want that.
Promotion runs through Saturday or until supplies run out, with cash for 2,000 people. The company says Chicago was chosen for its strong base of everyday investors, with plans to bring the experience to other cities after the debut. Sarah Herrera, News Radio 105.9 WBZ.
Let's try this one.
A Southwest Side nonprofit is helping people find.
All right, let's have some meditation for a few minutes. Maybe till 7:30. I don't know. We'll see. Just to relax a little bit. Enjoy yourselves. Oh, man, sorry. I gotta turn that off.
Good number for the one more red, please.
Sorry about it. I apologize. Hopefully I fix it. There we go. Now let's meditate. let's listen to 7:30 news if anything's new. Right? That. I almost fell asleep there. It's relaxing here, isn't it? There are trees. Sometimes I'll open the window. Listen, let's listen to the news. 7:30 news now. See what's going on in the city.
Off the Thunder in Oklahoma City, and right now they are losing 24-22 in the first quarter. And the Blackhawks are in New York taking on the Rangers, and they're also losing 3-1 in the second period. In AccuWeather, we're finding out that it's going to be lows ranging from 21 degrees in the coldest western suburbs to 31 near the lake. Tomorrow, plenty of sunshine is expected with a high of 50 degrees. It's going to be partly cloudy tomorrow night with a low of 41 degrees. And here is your top story. 10 U.S. service members were injured in an attack on Price Sultan Air Base. This was in Saudi Arabia. Multiple U.S. officials say the attack consisted of Iranian missiles and drones. Now, 2 of the Americans were very seriously injured, and 8 others were seriously injured, which is a different category of injury under the military's classification system. As it stands, 13 service members have been killed and more than 300 others wounded in the war with Iran. And Russia's top diplomat denies providing intelligence to Iran.
In an interview on France television on Thursday night, Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says Russia and Iran have a military technical agreement, and Moscow has supplied Iran with certain types of military products. Countering the suggestion that Moscow passes on classified information to Tehran, he adds, but we can't accept the accusations that we're helping Iran with intelligence. From Moscow, Lavrov says everyone knows the coordinates of US military bases in the region. It's public information. Lavrov's not surprised that Iran is attacking the bases. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Illinois farmers face uncertainty as the price of oil, fuel, and even fertilizer continue to rise amid the conflict in the Middle East.
Iran's closing of the Strait of Hormuz caused spikes to many essentials for American farmers, where in Illinois agriculture is a $27 billion industry that employs hundreds of thousands.
You know, my principal focus has been on serving the needs of our farmers and our agriculture community.
Farmers discussing with Governor Pritzker the impacts of war with Iran and Trump administration tariffs this week in Springfield, where lawmakers at the governor's direction are working on legislation that would give breaks to Illinois farmers, big and small.
I do think it's something that I could support as long as it includes the kind of tax break that I think is appropriate to preserving small farms and small businesses.
Illinois is the #1 producer of soybeans and #2 producer of corn in the U.S. Brandon Eisen, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
New traffic roadblocks are coming to downtown Joliet.
Emergency sewer repairs are forcing a severe narrowing of traffic going over the Jefferson Street Bridge over the Des Plaines River, a major gateway to downtown Joliet. Officials say the work started yesterday and will continue through next Friday. Between 7 in the morning and 5 in the evening, the 4 lanes of eastbound traffic are narrowed to 1 lane only, potentially creating long waits to get over the bridge. After 5 in the evening, there will be 2 lanes open for traffic. Joliet officials suggest you use another route. Bernie Tafoya, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
The Windy City ranked near the top of a new list, but it's not for a good thing.
Chicago ranked as the 3rd most polluted major U.S. city in 2025. That's according to a new air quality report released by IQ Air, a technology company specializing in tracking airborne pollutants. The report found contributing factors include heavy truck and train traffic, a major dust storm, and wildfire smoke from Canada drifting into the Great Lakes region. The study says Chicago's average level of fine particle pollution is nearly double the World Health Organization's recommended limit. Mallory Vorbroker, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
And golf legend Tiger Woods has been arrested on suspicion of DUI in his home of Jupiter Island, Florida, following a rollover crash. Police say the crash happened around 1:30 this afternoon, and though one of the cars rolled over, no one was injured. Martin County Sheriff says Woods appeared to be intoxicated at the time of the crash.
Our DUI investigators came to the scene here, and Mr. Woods did exemplify signs of impairment. They did several tests on him. Of course, he did explain the injuries and the surgeries that he had. We did take that into account. But they did do some in-depth roadside tests. And when it was determined, he was placed under arrest and taken to the Martin County Jail.
Now, Woods could face misdemeanor charges. He suffered multiple leg injuries during a serious rollover crash in California 5 years ago. The time now is 7:35.
The old rules of retirement no longer seem to be working. Listen to Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth Management Saturdays at 7 a.m. to learn how to prepare for your retirement. Grow My Retirement this Saturday at 7 a.m. on 780 WBBM.
Mom, the garage door won't open. I'm going to be late for practice.
Garage door problems?
Green Tea Services.
Hi, it's Tonya Corey for my family business, Green Tea Services. You need our garage door maintenance special. Our trained technicians come to your home to adjust the springs, check the cables, inspect the rollers, tighten hinges, and give your door and opener a complete lubrication. All for just $47.
Service to a Green Tea.
Don't wait for your garage door to fail. Call for our $47 garage door maintenance special. Call Green Tea now for details. 630-977-7777.
Now if Green Tea Services could only do my homework.
Green Tea Services, service to a Green Tea. 630-977-7777.
630-977-7777. Or greenteaservices.com.
On the coldest days of the year, families across Illinois count on Nicor Gas for safe, reliable heat. But being there when it matters most is only part of the story. Every day of the year, Nicor Gas is investing in infrastructure, maintaining safety, and planning ahead. So natural gas stays affordable and dependable for the long run. Visit NicorGas.com. Nicor Gas, always here. Natural gas now.
Now, the lowest gas prices from News Radio 1059 WBBM.
And thanks to our listeners for the following gas prices in Crystal Lake. The Mobile on Crystal Lake in Maine has gas for $4.09 per gallon. And in Coal City, the BP on Division and County is selling gas for $4.09 per gallon as well. If you see a great gas price, please give us a call at 312-409-GAS. That's 312-409-4277. And it's 7:38. Traffic and weather together on the 8th is sponsored by the Illinois Department of Human Services. And here is Lisa Costi.
On the Tri-State southbound, still heavy from the 82nd Street toll plaza to past 95th. That's a cleanup of an earlier crash. It's now been moved to the right shoulder. On the Edens, no delays for you. The Kennedy inbound heavy from Cumberland to Harlem and Division to Randolph. Just 25 minutes in from O'Hare. Not bad for a Friday night. Outbound 24 minutes to O'Hare. Express lanes are inbound. They'll save you about 2 minutes. The Eisenhower slow from Des Plaines to Austin. 34 minutes in from the Jane Addams. 16 from Manheim. Outbound just 31 minutes. The Stevenson doing great. 25 minutes. From a 355 to DeSable Lakeshore Drive in and outbound. No problems on I-55 in Will County. The Dan Ryan inbound heavy from the Stevenson to the Jane Byrne interchange. It's 18 minutes in. Outbound just slow. Roosevelt to before 18, 14 minutes to the Bishop Ford split. No delays on I-57. The Bishop Ford inbound is clear. Outbound, you're heavy from 115 to 159. That's long-term road work that's been going on pretty much all day. 23 minutes from the Dan Ryan to 8094. DeSable Lakeshore Drive northbound, you're heavy from Bellwood to Jackson and Navy Pier to Chicago Avenue. Southbound, you're heavy approaching Chicago Avenue as well. The Jane Addams, the Reagan, the Veterans, all moving well. I-80 eastbound, still heavy past I-55, but that earlier stall has been cleared. Traffic is sponsored by the Illinois Department of Human Services. When you find yourself betting and thinking about gambling all the time, when you lose more than you win, when gambling is affecting your job, relationships, and more, are you really winning? They're there to help you because you are not alone. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit areyourreallywinning.com. Next traffic at 7:48 on News Radio 1059 WBBM.
WBBM AccuWeather. It's going to be a cold night tonight under a clear to partly cloudy sky. Lows range from 21 in the coldest western suburbs to 31 near the lake. We just see temperatures recovering a little bit more tomorrow with a good deal of sunshine, high near 50. Partly cloudy tomorrow night, low 41. Then warmer Sunday with mixed clouds and sun. Sunday's high up to 63. 43 at O'Hare right now, 37 at Midway and Northbrook, 34 at the lakefront, going down into the 20s in both spots tonight. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Thanks a lot, guys. The time now is 7:40, and a musician who performed with the Chicago Symphony Orchestra is playing a new tune in a new industry.
Eric Shin is no stranger to Chicago.
The professional percussionist performed with the Chicago Symphony Orchestra.
It's amazing. They're one of the greatest orchestras in the world.
He tells it in Business Hour that he decided to march to the beat of a different drummer, so 10 years ago, he opened Soul Spice, a fast casual restaurant chain in Washington that's known for Korean food. He's following in the footsteps of his parents, who immigrated from Seoul in the 70s and opened a Korean restaurant in Atlanta.
I learned my culture through my food, right? Like, you could say food was our family's love language. And just like music, food is like a connector of like culture.
Soul Spice has 4 locations in D.C. It expanded to Chicago last April. There are now 3 in the city, with a 4th opening at the Willis Tower later this year. Rob Hart, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
And the Oscars are quitting Hollywood.
Starting in 2029, the Academy Awards show will shift from its current home at the Dolby Theater on Hollywood Boulevard to a more spacious venue in downtown L.A. The Peacock Theater will provide up to 1,000 more seats for the celebrity audience, and developer AEG will make improvements and upgrades. The Peacock is next door to the Crypto.com Arena, home to the LA Lakers and Kings. The Dolby is just steps from the Blossom Room at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel, where the very first Oscars were held in 1929. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
And coming up after the break, it's time for the top trending stories. The time now is 7:41.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed a little bit today. It's 7:40. We've been on since 4 o'clock. So we've been on 3 hours and 40 minutes today. We took a little break there when the video cut off, when we were at the lady jumping in the lake. We're going to have to figure that one out. If that was, it sounds like it might have been an attempted suicide. I'll look that up, see what's going on, and I'll make a report on that. There's a couple carjackings that happened. There was a shooting that happened, but it happened, I think, earlier in the day. I'll keep everybody posted. It's cold again. That's all I want to say. It's cold again. I want to sit here with my window open. That's what I want to do. You know, and in fact, I'll open the window, but I want you to listen to the animals out here, how quiet it is. And I guess this is where I want to finish this segment, right? I might go on live. There's some crimes that happen later. There is no difference between where I'm at right now today, where it's quiet and beautiful, and our city where it's beautiful, but not quiet. It's quiet sometimes at night because people are scared now. People don't go out too much in the city. They're scared. The only difference between where I'm at right now and where I live is the people who are in charge of it. That's the only difference. The only difference between Kenilworth and Inglewood is the people who run it. You can say, oh, John, you're crazy. They got more money in Kenilworth. They're rich in this. Nah, they got money. We're more rich in Chicago. We have factories. We have stores. We have rivers. We have lakes. We have high-rise. They don't have no high-rises out here in Kenilworth, and Winnetka could have none. We have what's some of the tallest buildings in the world in our city. We have beautiful stadiums, right? We have historical stadiums. We have great things. We have almost every nationality of the world in our city. They don't have that out here in Kenilworth. So Chicago actually has more than Kenilworth, but for some reason, or wherever I'm at here, I don't care. It's the same stuff. They take care of where they live. They believe in standards. They say, look, I'm a rich man. I don't want to get carjacked. I don't want to smell reefers. I don't want a crackhead on my bus. We just put that video. We can't put that video on Facebook. There's a white crackhead smoking crack on the CTA. It's on my Twitter page. White drug addicts, white dopers, we call them. These people out here, they say they don't want to see that. And I don't know what they do with them, if they lock them up, if they put them in a mental house, whatever. Maybe that's what we should study. Maybe we need to study, what does Kenilworth and Winnetka do with drug addicts, criminals, mentally ills? Right? What do they do with them? Look at Highland Park. They had one of the worst massacres. Right? They had a white guy pretending to be a woman shooting up their city, right? On 4th of July. Remember that? We just had an Indiana woman murdered 3 people and run into our state and running back to Indiana. So it isn't a white thing. It isn't a black thing. It isn't a Mexican thing. It isn't even a rich thing versus a poor thing. It's who runs our stuff. What are the value systems of the people that we have running our systems? I didn't vote for Brandon Johnson. I did not. I didn't vote for Julia Ramirez. Nope. I didn't vote for J.B. Pritzker. Nope. I didn't vote for Tony Prankuka. Nope. So these people who post, it's your fault. No, it's not. It's not. Do I vote Democrat? I'm a lifelong Democrat. Yes. I just pulled a Republican ballot this election, and I was disappointed because most of the ballot was empty. So it shows me the Republicans are lazy. So that tells me also has nothing to do with Republicans or Democrats. It has nothing to do with being rich or poor. It has nothing to do where people live. It has to do with what? The people who run our stuff. I don't think they'd put up with a meth head here by their school. I don't think they would put up with shootings by churches. I don't think they put up with that out here. They don't put up with that out here. They say, I have a lot of money. I'm really rich. I don't have time to deal with drug addicts in front of my 7-Eleven shooting up the store. We just had one of our billionaire developer. I don't know if he was a billionaire, Jerry Lewis. We had a beautiful black man who was developing the West Side, the United Center. A beautiful man. Look at his picture. He's nice looking. He's got a nice haircut. His facial hair is cut nice. I wish I could cut my facial hair like him. He's got a good, healthy look to him. He doesn't look mean. He doesn't look tired. I'd like to hear how he talked. I'm going to look for some of his videos. That's what I'm going to do this weekend. I want to honor that man. So it looks like he was doing some good things. He lived and worked in the place that he grew up and he loved. And he was murdered by criminals who were let loose. Sheridan Gorman, an 18-year-old, beautiful young woman, murdered by a criminal that was let loose. We got a 21-year-old, and we don't know the full story of that was raped at Northeastern University. Beautiful young girl, probably raped. We don't know nothing about that. It's a cover-up. It's a cover-up. It's a cover-up. We don't know nothing. Oh, it's her friend. It's not her friend. It's a rape. It's not a rape. It's a cover-up. It's a cover-up. Cover-up, letting criminals out. And that's the theme this week, right? Because in the end, no one's being helped. Everyone's being harmed. The person that said he's going to take care of people and he's going to not engage in trauma, and he's going to engage in treatment, is the one that's causing the most trauma to our city. And that's the definition of the difference between our city and this city where I'm at. I don't even know where I'm at. I don't know if I'm in Winnetka, Skokie, or Kenilworth. I'm somewhere up here in the woods right here. I don't know where the heck I'm at. I don't know where I'm at. That's Skokie Lagoon in front of me. I don't know where I'm at. But I want to say this. These rich folks up here, these rich people, I just showed you their house. They have killings up there. Lori Dan and Winnetka. There's whackheads up here too. I'm sure they have meth and crack and all that crap up here. I'm sure they do. What's the difference? What's the difference? You know what that rich man says? I don't want to see it, and I don't want to hear it. You're a cop. You're a judge. You're the alderman. You're the mayor. You're the garbage collector. You're the ComEd guy. Whatever teacher you are, I'm paying you. I'm rich, and I'm paying you. And this is Winnetka. This is Kenilworth. This is Skokie. This is wherever I'm at. I'm paying you, sucker. You listen to me, sucker. I'm rich, and I'm paying you to do your job. You understand that, Mr. Mayor? You understand that, Mr. Police Officer? You understand that, Mr. Fire Department guy? You understand that, Mr. Garbage Collector? You understand that, Mr. Water Pipe guy? You understand that, Mr. Electrician guy? You understand that, Mr. Teacher guy? I'm rich. I'm paying you, and you do your job. Because I'm rich, because I'm making money. And when I make money, you get money. When I pay $1 billion for a house, you get the tax money. That's the difference between up here and where we live and where I live on 35th and Damon. We don't hold our people accountable that run our city, our county, and our wards. My ward's got leaves on the gutter from October. 6 months of leaves, never picked up by the alderman. Never picked up. We got crackheads running on our trains. We have our developers, beautiful men, who stay in their neighborhood and empower their own race, their own black race, who are murdered in broad daylight. He was murdered at 1 o'clock in the afternoon by parolees, criminals, known criminals running around with guns that have federal machine gun charges on them, running on our streets. We have criminal aliens hiding on piers, on public parks with guns, killing 18-year-old students, out-of-state students. The family spends triple the tuition to send her daughter here because out-of-state students pay more. They spend extra money to send her daughter to a school where they thought she would be safe on a lakefront. That's a beautiful campus. If you ever go to Loyola, go out there. It's a beautiful campus. It's like right here where I'm at. It's beautiful. They spend the extra money to send her there. Do you know how much money they spent to send her beautiful daughter there? Because they loved her daughter. And they probably have some money. And they said, you know what? Let's send her there. It sounds like it's safe. But it wasn't safe. Why? Because it was in our city. That's where it was. It was in our city. The city where we have criminals who run our government. Terrorists who run our government. I always say this. I write this. Not all terrorists carry guns. Some are authors. Some are computer programmers. Some are politicians. Some are doctors. Some are teachers. Some are professors. Some are road technicians. There's terrorists all over. Just because they don't carry a gun, that don't mean nothing. But it's what? And I'll say this. Our fault. Again, there's no difference between Chicago and Kenilworth. In fact, Chicago has more resources than Kenilworth. The only difference is these rich folks out there don't put up with that shit. They take immediate action. They remove those people, and they never let them be around them ever again. That's why they're rich. That's why it's quiet. My windows are open. I'm a little cold. That's why it's quiet and it's beautiful out here. I love my city, and I showed you some beautiful stuff in Chicago. We have more stuff that's beautiful than Kenilworth and Winnetka and Skokie and Elgin and Evanston have put together. They can't compete with Chicago. They never will. Zero. They can't. But yet, we're ripped off. We're murdered. We're raped. Our firefighters are killed by recidivist criminals. That firefighter was killed by a criminal. There's a report that someone made a phone call that there was a problem over there in that house. The police said, that's low level. We might not go there. There's a semi-truck on Lakeshore Drive. We won't go there. There's a weird package by the police academy. We're not going to look at it. That's stupid. Let's laugh a little bit. Oh, and then now let's bring out 50 vehicles and explode the bomb and spend a couple of $100,000 playing around because we weren't doing our jobs. How did a lady go to a pier and jump in? How did a lady get all into that whole area and jump in? You weren't watching? You weren't watching her? How did Tiffany Henyard's dad get shot? and you didn't catch the guy. You know, there was cameras all around that neighborhood. 13 King Kedzie. Go look, there's pod cameras everywhere, and we haven't caught the guy yet. A mayor's dead. Ex-mayor's dead. Whatever you think of Tiffany Henry, whatever you think of her dad was shot at 13th and Kedzie, next to an abandoned CHA building with all kinds of pod cameras, all kinds of technology in there. You can't tell me you don't know who did that. You don't know who did that. You don't know who shot that guy, right? 65-year-old guy. You don't know who did that, huh? You got to be out of your mind. And we put up with that. We need to remove these people from power. If you say, let's vote them out, you've already lost. You've already capitulated. We need to do sit-ins. We need to do lawsuits. We need to ask the federal government, the FBI, or anybody else, the United Nations. And maybe we need to do a United Nations complaint against Brandon Johnson. How about this one? Write up a complaint against Brandon Johnson that he allows black young men to be murdered in the streets of Chicago every single day. Disproportionately allows crime to harm females. Look up how many females been murdered lately and by whom. I just said it earlier. Those migrants are killing females in our city. There's disproportionate murdering of females in our city and disproportionate killing of females by migrants in Chicago. I'll make that statement right here. I know that's a fact. It's a fact. Look it up. You know what? You can't find that information because they block that. They say you can't talk about migrants. You can't link migrants to crime. That's the sanctuary bill. Plus, that's the one that Brandon Johnson and Governor Pritzker passed. You can't link crimes to a migrant's immigration status. Look it up. You can't deny an illegal migrant a driver's license that killed 2 girls down in Urbana-Champaign. You can't deny that illegal migrant with a fake ID, the driver's license, and then he kills 2 girls, 2 water polo girls. Again, the only difference between Kenilworth and 35th and Damon, where I live, is what? The people allow it to happen. We allow it to happen. It has nothing to do with elections. Elections is fake. Don't think of it as an election issue. It's us. We're allowing these people to harm us, to cause trauma to our families, and to murder and kill people that are good people in our city. Jerry Lewis was a good man. He was a good African-American person who did right by his community. And he was murdered by criminals that should not have been on the street. Sheridan Gorman was murdered by a criminal that shouldn't have been on the street. He shouldn't have even been in this country. Yet the people who made this Jaden, how about Jaden, the 11-year-old who was murdered by a parolee? Why aren't any of these people who made any of these decisions in prison? If you look, and I'm going to finish because it's going to be 8 o'clock. I'll finish with this. Look at other countries like India, Pakistan, China, even Iran. Yeah, there are enemies. Look them up. Look at some countries in Africa. Start looking for some videos. I can't post some of these videos, even in Mexico. I can't post these videos. They're called kill videos, okay? You know what a kill video is? You know what they do to politicians? They do half the harm that ours do. They remove them from office physically. In China, they execute corrupt politicians for far less than these guys that are in our city right now in our county. Far less. Stealing some money. They execute people for stealing money, not harming people, not letting criminals run loose. So we need to start rethinking of how we hold people accountable. I ain't talking about doing no vigilante stuff. I'm talking about how do we hold people accountable. We need to have them arrested. We need to do sit-ins. We need to deny them money and access. We need to stop their behavior when they're harming us. That first year, and I'll end with this. You know what the first thing that happened with Brandon Johnson? He gave away money to white developers for the Congress Theater. And you know what happened the first opening day on North Avenue Beach? There was a shooting there. That first year, we should have removed Brandon Johnson from office as a danger to all of us. I'm going to leave it there. It's 8 o'clock. I'm signing off. It's SubX.News, 8 p.m., March 27, 2026. We need to do something different, and we can't be allowed to be traumatized, harmed, murdered, and raped by the politicians who run our city, our county, and our state. We need to be like Kenilworth, like these rich people out here that don't have no tolerance for that kind of behavior. These rich people out where I'm at right now tonight have no tolerance for that. Zero tolerance for that type of behavior from their politicians. They remove them instantly. And that's what we need to start thinking about. How we as Chicagoans and Cook County residents can start taking control of our streets, our schools, our government services, and our street safety. And if someone doesn't want to do the job and they make excuses and they make jokes and they play, whether it's a cop, a teacher, or a politician, they should be removed from their job. Take it easy. That's all I got. It's Friday night. It's 8:01 p.m., March 27, 2026. SubX.News signing off. I love everybody. A bunch of stuff happened. I did a little bit of talking. I hope you've seen a little different stuff today. And I told you, SubX.News is changing. Yeah, we're changing. We're changing. Take it easy, everybody. Have a good night. If I don't talk to you, have a great weekend. Bye-bye. Love everybody. Thank you for watching.